I'm here with Peta Preston from Preston and Associates lawyers.
Yes.
Hi Peter, how are you
Hi,
going?
how you going?
Good, thanks. Tell me a little bit about the type of law that you specialise in.
Sure. So at Preston and Associates, what we specialise in is family law and criminal law matters. The most or the majority of work that we do is family law matters. So that's quite diverse, ranging from assisting people to negotiate and resolve parenting disputes, property settlement matters. We also do prenuptial agreements or binding financial agreements. We also do a lot of work with domestic violence matters and assisting people to either progress litigation or negotiate settlement outside of court.
Sounds very involved, doesn't it?
Can be
Yeah.
at times. What we aim to achieve for people is trying to keep people out of the court system as much as possible. So we will look at planning a way forward, negotiating a resolution and settling a matter without it being too costly for people, but also in a way that's quite quick, recognising that the court system has many delays at the moment.
It can be very stressful too, can't it?
Very stressful for people. So if we can try and buffer as much as possible that stress by providing expert advice and representation and practical strategies to move forward, then I think people really appreciate that in working with their matter.
So when people first come to see you, they're obviously in a state of distress sometimes. So when's the best time for someone to come and see you?
Yeah, I would suggest that people get legal advice the moment that they're contemplating a separation. I know that's probably easier said than done if people are very bogged down in the emotional aspects of the separation and the conflict. But there's many practical things to consider when a relationship is breaking down. And I think the earlier that you can get legal advice, the less stressed you're going to be. Because if you are equipped with the knowledge and the resources that you need to move forward, you're going to be able to move forward with a little bit more confidence and less anxiety.
Yeah.
I think stress and anxiety comes from what's unknown, and if people have the resources and information they need to make good choices,
the right decisions
and informed decisions in the future, I think it eases that pressure. I think people sometimes think lawyer's a bit of a scary word, and it means a lot of costs. And also I think people think engaging a lawyer might result in heightened conflict because it means getting into a fight and taking an aggressive litigator approach to family law matters. But that's not necessarily the case. And I think it's important to break down that barrier around getting legal advice and legal support, because it doesn't have to be incredibly expensive and it doesn't have to be protracted. I think there's real benefit engaging a lawyer that has a collaborative, practical approach rather than a strong litigation approach, especially when we're talking about children's matters. I think it's really important that people can try and avoid conflict and protracted hostility to try and buffer children from that as much as possible. And for many people, they do move forward addressing most of the settlement issues themselves. They don't have to have a lawyer engaged for the long term, provided people both want to take an amicable approach initially. All they really need is to be informed about what their rights and entitlements are and what type of arrangement might reflect their children's best interest, and then they can work together to resolve it in the future. I think almost every day when I do an initial consult, I can see the sense of relief in people after they've been given thorough and comprehensive advice. People often will present initially as being overwhelmed, terrified of what the future has ahead, But once people have had advice that's very clear, that they can understand and digest, I think that they are able to just breathe and think, okay, well, I know what the next step is now. I can move forward.
There must be a very satisfying line of work.
Yeah, I really enjoy it.
Yeah.
What I really enjoy seeing is when people have initially come to me in a very sad time, and their self-esteem might be eroded, or they might be feeling very vulnerable. They may have had limited opportunity to make choices for themselves in their relationship. And as we walk through the system, I see more and more that people gain strength, they rebuild their sense of self. And it's nice to watch people as we move along take ownership of their lives and their choices and gain strength.
Wonderful.
That's a nice thing to see.
Yeah. And what about the criminal side of things? What do you enjoy about that?
What I really enjoy about criminal law matters is ensuring that people don't feel on their own when they're navigating the legal system. For many people, having to front at a magistrate's court or even at the higher courts is incredibly confronting. For some people, it's their first and only experience in the criminal justice system, and they're fearful of what the outcome might be. So I enjoy ensuring that people are supported through every step of the process, and I enjoy ensuring that I can get the best possible outcome for someone that really is a vulnerable person that needs that sense of strength and representation in the justice system.
Yeah.
And for a lot of people, it's also about the real reality that they might be losing their liberty.
Oh gosh,
and
yes.
that's terrifying. And so if that is a likely outcome, it's ensuring people are supported appropriately, to navigate the system.
Wonderful. Yeah. So how do people find you?
So people can find me online. So I have a number of social media pages, so Facebook, Instagram, or people can Google me and find me at Preston and Associates. I have a website, www.prestonandassociates.com.au, and we're based at North Lakes, so 48 Flinders Parade, North Lakes.
Wonderful.
Thank
Well,
you.
thanks very much, Peta.